Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on the brand new Forza Motorsport game to take you on a quick tour of all of the new circuits in this latest title. There are, of course, as usual in a motorsport game, a whole plethora of obscure American tracks, but not all that much else other than like the really well-known stuff, like the Nürburgring, Le Mans and Silverstone and the like. As you may be aware though, we only have the GP layout of the Nürburgring, and not the Nordschleife, which is promised to be added early next year. And we only have the full Circuit de la Sarthe layout, and not the shorter Bugatti circuit for Le Mans, which have always been in previous titles. So yeah, there's quite a lot missing here, and that's not all of it, there is more. However, Turn 10 have also, as well as removing things, added some brand new tracks and track layouts. So let's focus on that today and go through all of the new additions in this latest game. Starting off with the Eaglerock Speedway, a new fictional oval track with the most American name possible. Forza says that Eaglerock is an American motorsports classic dating back to the 1930s, not quite sure how they know that if it's fictional. The wide and fast 1 mile oval, cut from an Iowa cornfield, has just enough banking to keep speeds high and competition fierce. In the club circuit layout, the legendary A-shaped infield turn will test racers' passing skills lap after lap. I do actually really like that they're giving these fictional tracks a bit of a backstory, including fictional dates for when it was created. Not quite sure about that, but anyway, it is good that they're giving some kind of story to these tracks. I'm also not sure I agree that it really has enough banking to keep speeds high, although to be fair, it's not really the banking's fault, it's just that the track is kind of a little short, so it's not really a big enough oval to get speeds up, but then it is specifically supposed to be a 1 mile oval, and we do have bigger ovals in the game anyway, so yeah, it doesn't really matter, so it is quite nice to have a different one. I do kind of wonder though why they needed to add a fictional oval, because surely there are plenty of real oval tracks that they could have put in the game instead, right? I'm pretty sure there must be mile-long oval tracks in the US. Anyway, there's actually 3 layouts of this: the oval itself, the club, and the club reverse, with the club versions basically having that A-shaped chicane that was mentioned in Forza's description. There's also another new fictional track set in the USA, Grand Oak Raceway, which Forza says is a new sister track to the classic Maple Valley Raceway that we've had in most motorsport games, I believe. The scenic Grand Oak is ideally integrated into the peaceful, meandering New Hampshire woods. Known for its wide, high-speed sweeping turns and laid-back atmosphere, it's quickly become a preferred destination for racers and motorsports fans worldwide. This track also has 3 layouts: the National, the Club, and the National Reverse layout. It's kind of a shame, given that there's already a reverse layout of the full circuit, that they couldn't have also had a reverse of the club layout, but anyway. The previous oval track, that did kind of make sense to only have a reverse version of the club layout, because a reverse oval is kind of pointless, but on this one it would have been nice to have a reverse of both. But still, it's a super nice flowing new track that I've been really enjoying driving now that I've kind of learned it a little bit. The third and final new fictional track, set in Japan, is Hakone, which Forza says the new circuit Hakone is surrounded by the sublime beauty of the Japanese countryside on the shores of Lake Ashi. It's a futuristic showcase for flat-out speed with long straights, wide turns, and few heavy braking zones. A motorsports mecca built to host every level of racing with a spectacular view of Mount Fuji. What I was kind of wondering though is, with a view of Mount Fuji, it means it must be relatively close to the real-life Fuji Speedway. So it may have kind of made more sense to add that and give us another real-world location. But anyway, this is, however, one of the most beautiful tracks in this game. So I am glad they decided to make a fictional Japanese-style track. Just seems like an interesting decision to base it so close to a real track, but I suppose they wanted that view of Mount Fuji in the background. Just like the previous 2 fictional tracks, there's 3 layouts: the Grand Prix layout, the club layout, and the club reverse. And similarly to Grand Oak, it's kind of a shame that there isn't a reverse version of both, especially given they've already made a reverse version of one of the layouts. This isn't necessarily my favourite track to race, but it flows pretty nicely, but it does look absolutely stunning. And on to our first real-life track in today's video, and the only completely new real-life location is the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. Forza says that Kyalami in South Africa is the southernmost race circuit on Earth. It is a relentless technical challenge with constant elevation changes between 16 turns in less than 3 miles. Racers battle it through the demanding corners named after dangerous jungle predators, including cheetah, leopard, lion, and crocodiles. There is only one layout for this one, and it seems to be mostly a fast-flowing circuit that's very intuitive to learn, in fact. Despite never really driving this track before, I very quickly found I was starting to learn braking points and get very used to the lines and stuff, and I've been really enjoying racing and hot lapping around this circuit. And last but not least, Laguna's Seca, specifically the outer loop. The main track has of course been in all, I think, previous Forza Motorsport games, and this one is no different, that still remains. The outer version, however, hasn't been seen before and is brand new. Well, actually it's old. Although technically still there, in reality impossible to use, this layout hasn't been used since the inner circuit we now know was completed way back, I think, in 1987. It's slightly shorter than the main track at only 1.84 miles, rather than the 2.24 with the removal of a few corners. I've particularly enjoyed this track so far. It was featured as one of the first 3 races that you have to complete to get fully into the featured multiplayer in this game, and is a super high-speed track. It's sort of like all the speed and slipstream of oval racing, with the added interest of a few 90-degree corners, and of course the famous corkscrew. So those are all of the new tracks and track layouts in the latest Forza Motorsport game. It is a shame to lose several iconic tracks, including the Nordschleife, but this is promised to be added early next year, as I said at the beginning, and despite a few other omissions, there are, I think you'll agree, some great new additions in this list, and overall, it's not too bad, but it could do with a few more tracks added, which hopefully will happen. They've promised at least one addition next year. Do let me know, though, what you think of the track list, and specifically the new tracks that we've covered today. But for today's video, that is going to be all, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next one very soon.